Hello and good evening, everyone. This is Suzanne Knaber-Nicole from Police Science Doctor. Police Science Doctor is an online resource with lots of free material in the form of videos, podcasts, and transcripts. Now, one of the main things I do is I turn research in the fields of criminology, investigative psychology, and other police sciencey, researchy, fieldy related topics into something that practitioners of law enforcement and policing can actually consume: videos. So I've got about 30 videos in the video gallery. The latest one was actually an interview that I conducted with the lovely Ginny McKenna. She's an ex-police officer. She was on the street for 21 years as a frontline cop and traffic cop, and she has turned into a health coach, and she specializes, a life coach. She specializes in handling help police officers and staff handle stress when in the police. Now, she was actually thinking about committing suicide at one point in her life due to the stresses of policing, things that were going on in policing, but also being bullied, being sexually discriminated against. And she didn't have any support. She doesn't want that to happen to anyone else. She became a life coach. I keep wanting to say health coach. She became a life coach. She's actually accredited, and she has done her training, and she's focusing exclusively on first responders, because she knows what it's like. She knows the job inside out. She knows exactly what's going on, and she can help people through it. And actually, we're developing a course together that we're launching in a few weeks. It's called Emergency Stress Pit Stop, because in order to perform like a Formula One race car, you just need to pull over and you need to deal with things that are holding you back or slowing you down. You need to refuel the tank. You need to look at your brake pads. You need to look at your suspension, whatever other car-related terms you can come up with. You need to do that in order to get back in the race and not actually collapse or explode. Okay, although not that many cars explode, but you need to look after yourself. It's very, very important. So Emergency Stress Pit Stop. Let me actually give you the link for that. If you want more information on that, I'm posting that into the comments right now where you're watching this. It's simply the website policesciencedoctor.com/GM1. Okay, it's not posting to Twitter at the moment, but no worries. So it's GM1, just have a look on there. Now, the other thing I'm doing, because I'm on a roll with this mental health stuff at the moment, is I'm holding a webinar next week. In 9 days is the mental health and policing webinar. It's free, of course, as my events are. And I'm going to be bringing to you the opinions and experiences of practitioners and experts from around the world. So we've got US, we've got New Zealand, we've got Australia, we've got UK, and there's going to be a lot of examples of what has been going wrong for people who've been working in policing, who needed support, who didn't have it. But also we're going to share some best practice, things that are being done around the world and that are working. I want you to come away from this webinar with ideas of what you can do, how you can do it, and something to try to talk to your supervisors about. And, just say, hey, I saw this, they're doing this in Illinois, they're doing this over here, they're doing this over there. Can we not give that a try? So I'm posting the link to register for that. As I said, it's a free webinar. Everybody's invited to come. I'm putting that into the comments now, so you can just go book your free place. You've got nothing to lose. It's next Thursday, the 13th of May. So let me just show you this picture again here. Emergency Stress Pit Stop. All right, hang on. I was actually talking about the webinar. So this is the webinar, Mental Health and Policing. Just go to the website I just put into the comments, and you'll be able to watch that live if you want. Right. So the interview link, I don't have the direct interview link to Ginny, but she's on the main website, policesciencedoctor.com. Just go to watch, and she'll be listed with the other videos there. And now let's get to the police science snippets. So usually I do all the announcements and then I get to the snippets. This time I wanted to do it the other way around, but somehow it just doesn't feel natural. So I started with the other announcements first. So what I do on a Tuesday is one of the main functions of Police Science Doctor is to get the research that is out there, that is being published by academics, amongst academics, that is actually about what policing the practitioners do, but doesn't get to them. I look at some of that research, I extract some golden nuggets that I think may be of interest to you because they're practical, they're applicable, and they are something that you can do or consider doing straight away. It's nothing very theoretical, it's nothing abstract, it's something really hands-on. So I go through these research articles and I extract such 3 golden nuggets for you every week, and then I email them out. You can get into my free email list, www.policesciencedoctor.com, and just join the registration form or put in your details into the registration form. You'll be added to the email list, and you will actually get those emailed to you with the link to the original article. Okay, so this is all very accountable. You actually get the source where this came from. I'm emailing you these, but I'm also discussing them in the evenings in this manner. So the first snippet of this week is about stress and mental health and policing. So something I've been talking about with the webinar and the course and the interview that I did. So the snippet is organizational and workplace stress, such as being short-staffed, poor and unsupportive leadership, shift work, etc., have an even more damaging effect on officers' mental health than the traumatic incidents they are exposed to through police work. Now, this is very interesting, and it was a policing scholar from Australia that told me about this research. When we think about trauma and stress in policing, we think about everything that police officers have to deal with: the deaths, the abuse, the violence, the neglect, all the horrific things they deal with day to day. That is something that comes with the job, and we can't protect our officers from it. We can try, and we should try and help them deal with it. After each incident, we should try and let them heal from that incident and process it properly before they go out and deal with another horrific situation. But we can't prevent them from experiencing those traumatic events, okay? But that is what we've been thinking about when we thought about trauma and stress in policing. But actually, what is more harmful in terms of stress and trauma for police is the way the organization works. So shift work, being short-staffed, poor leadership, no support when it comes to leadership, no support for your mental health. And these working conditions, this organizational stress, and the fact that sometimes the organization adds to the trauma that has been experienced in how they treat their staff. Everything that the organization does and doesn't do that is bad for mental health is actually much more worse than the initial trauma. So there are cases where something happens to someone when they're working in the police, and they can be a witness, they can be involved in some way, and that is traumatic in itself. But then how the organization treats them, they might need to be investigated, but their colleagues and their superiors might treat them very badly, might treat them with suspicion, might distance themselves, and there might not be any support. That can have a much worse effect on the mental health of this officer. So there is a responsibility from the organization to try and help our officers with things that they experience, but also with how we deal with them afterwards. Okay. The second snippet for this week is jury perceptions of children's recorded interviews. So when a child gives their chief evidence, that's being recorded on video, and that is then being shown in the courtroom rather than the child having to go and present the evidence in the courtroom. Research suggests that if a jury is not only shown a child's recorded interview as evidence, but also views the rapport-building phase between the child and the interviewer that preceded the interview, this may cause the jury to view the child's testimony in a less positive light. So it might be better not to show the jury that rapport-building stage. So that's quite interesting because it's unexpected. I'm not sure yet what the mechanisms are. But the original article is there, and actually the article about the stress and the mental health, you can access the full article with the link I've put in there. And the third and final snippet for this week is about suspect interviews. Creating an accepting, empathic approach in interview that honors the suspect's autonomy is more effective in getting the suspect's cooperation than the more authoritative and demanding interview styles. And this link is also to the full article. So for the first and third article are fully linked here. So please go and read them if these areas interest you. And the second one is you can access the abstract unless you've got access to the journal itself. So I hope you found that interesting. What I'd like to show you now, just before we finish, is the trailer that I've published online today for next week's mental health webinar. Enjoy. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this content useful. You can get access to each episode's transcript with key learning points, timestamps and references if you get yourself onto my mailing list. Just go to the main website on policesciencedoctor.com, and on the bottom of each page you will find a sign-up form for notifications of new content. Just enter your first name, your preferred email address and the type of organization you work for. You will not get any spam. This is just for me to let you know about new content and for you to get access to all the transcripts.